Good morning. So I'm reading Deuteronomy 7 this morning. And I'm just, this is when, the Lord commanded Israel to destroy the Canaanites and take over the land. And I'm just thinking about it that, here you go, you're going, and God is saying to you, destroy your enemies. And when you destroy the enemies, you're going to destroy every single thing upon the land. You're going to burn up every image. You're going to burn up every groves. You're going to kill everything. You can't take them silver. You can't take them gold. You can't take anything off of this land. He's also saying that you can't even marry them. You can't give them daughter to your son. You can't give them son to your daughters because they're going to lead your children astray and they're going to turn from me. Right? And he says, destroy their altars, burn down everything. And I guess I was just thinking that you imagine that you're going to war, you're battling, and you're fighting for this land. And then now you look at the land, and after you fight for it, the Lord is like, it looks like it's like deserted. And you can't keep nothing that looks like it's of value. Like you can't keep none of the vanity. You can't even keep the woman them. You can't keep nothing because it's a spoil. You can't keep none of the spoils from this war. And I guess I'm just sitting here thinking that the mindset of how they must have felt. So now God wants you to start over from scratch. So during this time, I guess I'm thinking about during the time, the gap, right? You're looking at all these things that seem to be so good, but God is like, no, you can't keep it. You can't keep none of that. You can't bring that with you. You can't hold on to it. You have to mash it up. And you say, God, but me not have nothing. Me have to go start over from scratch. I guess I'm just thinking about their mindset. So you look over, and God is like, keep these covenants with me, follow my commandments. And he said also another thing that's important. He said, do not make any covenant with them, right? That's in verse 2, which covenant is very, very important, right? And then you go on down, and the Lord is saying to you that if you follow my commandments and you keep your covenant with me, because I'm keeping the covenant that I made with your fathers, right? It's not even for uno. I know father did forget all of this, but me to my promise on the father, me I give it to uno. And God is saying that if you keep my covenant, I'm gonna make sure that everyone your woman them pregnant. Me go make sure say all your man them get children. Me go full up with corn and wine and fruit and the land and everything I go increase. Everything what I swore to your fathers, I'm gonna give unto you, and you're gonna be blessed over all the people. And he said, and also I will take away all sicknesses. Mighty God. He says, I will take away all sicknesses, he said in verse 15. And I will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all that hate thee. Can you imagine? So you're coming out of Egypt, right? Where your captors had you under bondage. And not only that, they were putting diseases upon you, right? And God is saying, I'm going to deliver you from all of these diseases. And not only that, I'm going to put them back upon those that hate you. Isn't this one of them example of fight those that fight against me, Lord? So God is fighting those that fight against you and then turning back around what they planned out to harm you. And then not only that, he's gonna make sure you flourish, make sure you prosper. But is the gap period. That period of looking like nothing is there. You're looking at all these things, you can't touch them, you can't use them, you have to start back over from basically from scratch. So you have to trust God during this time. You have to trust God during this process. And I guess I'm just thinking about like even when they were in the wilderness and they had build up this image of Baal and worshiping it because they can get free, they can get nervous, and they start going back to the ways of